Thank you, Mr. Chair, Professor Caesar, for the floor. I built my presentation on the one I gave in the morning. I think most of you were there, so I will go a bit fast on the slides you saw in the morning, and I will just mention a few things for this project, and I will save the time for the next speakers who will go into more details on the technical parts. So we give the chance for discussion. So as I said in the morning, we have many objectives, but I collected the most important ones, which is the adoption and the creation actually of the format, the European Electronic Health Exchange format, to be used in all European EHR systems. This is a big thing, big ambitious and big ambition, and we aim that we will create the specifications in the for this format. We also aim to create the guidelines and the implementation guides for the adoption of the regulation. And another important objective of this project is to engage the stakeholders in this process and give them the chance and the opportunity to review our deliverables and provide feedback, and let the project take into account these comments and form the final implementation guides to be adopted. I collected some challenges of this project. Some of them are the following. We need to decide on the standards to be used for interoperability, for example, whether this will be the Xt-EHR or something else. We all know that we have, for example, for the imaging, we have the DICOM, and then we also need to define the several value sets, which is not an easy task. I see Marcello here, who has a lot of experience on it, and he will probably talk about this later. And together with the value sets, we have the coding systems. Okay, of course, I give some examples here. Don't take it that this is, but we all know SNOMED and LOINC, but there are more. We have some ISOs, as you might know, some standards. So these are all decisions that were to be taken by this project, and later to be adopted if agreed by the Commission and suggested in the implementing acts. And then, of course, we have to decide on the metadata, which is another important part and element of the implementation guides. Then we have the stakeholder engagement, which is not an easy task, but I must say that Work Package 2 is doing an excellent job on it. And therefore, we have this plan for 2025 to engage targeted stakeholders, as we call it, the plan. And then another challenge is that, you know, that in practice, the EHR systems, some of them are advanced and they can be compliant with the specifications. Some others are not so advanced. So we are building this maturity model, as we call it, that we have the relaxed, let's say, level, which is to exchange unstructured data, say PDF, for example. But then we have the highest levels, say level 3, which will be, after all, the goal of the EHR systems to exchange structured data. And I'm simplifying things, but I have Hinek here to explain a little bit more on this. And we also have the conformity assessment. So, you know, these are all challenges to be of this project. We have to comply and support the regulation. We have to support the European Commission information of the implementing acts, which is another responsibility of this project, because it will suggest the specifications and guidelines and implementing acts, implementation guides. And then we have collaborations with SDOs, with other SN, other standards, HL7, and so on, and collaboration with other projects. So in summary, these are the main challenges. Maybe there are more, but I collected some of them just for you to know what we are trying to do. The format will be based on the 5 priority categories as defined in the regulation, but not limited to it. Of course, we will have also the technical details and the metadata, as I explained before, and maybe obviously other things. And this will be used for the exchange of the EHR systems across Europe, and hopefully later with other countries outside European Union as well. This is, of course, not discussed right now, but I assume that on some point we will start discussing about that. I talked this in the morning, the implementation guides, which will consist the information of all these things that we talked, such as the coding systems, the value sets, the FHIR profiles, the modeling itself, the common models, the specific models, which is included with a header and body, the metadata, and all these things, together with the documentation on how the implementation guides can be used in practice for the implementers to create these EHR systems. This is an example on how a model looks like. We have the base model. In this case, is the dosaging of the for the medication, and we have the elements, which include the instructions, the dose and rate, and then we have sub-elements such as the type, the quantity, the range, and so on. So this is just one example on how the models look like. And Hinek, of course, will explain a bit in more detail about this. And for the stakeholder engagement plan, we have the plan, we have the consultation, the announcement phase, consultation phase, resolution phase, Q&A, formal finalization, submission, and publication. So all these phases are within and under the stakeholder engagement plan, and this is, in a way, how we plan to do this consultation through 2025. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.